He's only 7 years old, but he's seen the difficulties of life that his answer is of an adult. And he says, I miss Dad in the space of the sky. في المستقبل شنو تريد تصير؟
أصير كابتن طيار.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله. شو تصير حق كابتن علي؟
إيه.
Captain Ali. He hopes that he'll grow up to be a captain. But brothers and sisters, this is your donations that Ali's dream of being a captain will come true. This is why we urge you to donate now and make Ali's dream come true.
Sponsor an orphan and weave dreams into reality. Give the gift of tomorrow. Sponsor an orphan and watch their world change through their eyes.
ماما أنا جوعانة. ما أريد.
لا شو تريدين؟
أيضا دجاج لحم سمك.
يا محمود إن شاء الله اليوم يجيب لنا أكل وتاكل.
إن شاء الله ماما.
عليكم السلام.
شلون صحتكم؟
اهلا وسهلا.
هذه مواد مساعدات، مواد غذائيه مساعدات.
والله واجد.
مؤسسه الامام حسين شارتي، ان شاء الله يحتاجون دعاء من عندكم ان شاء الله.
والله واجد. الله يسلمك.
Every child deserves a nutritious meal. Build bonds that withstand time. Bring a family together this Ramadan. Feed the needy and change lives by donating now.
The holy month of Ramadan has commenced, and Imam Hussein TV is committed to providing its cherished viewers with a diverse array of high-quality educational content and special live broadcasts from the sacred land of Karbala. Among our primary broadcasts from this holy land is the live recitation of Quran directly from the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, offering your home a beautiful ambience of spirituality from the holy land of Karbala. In appreciation of the sponsorship for this particular live broadcast, we have curated 3 exclusive gifts of gratitude for our esteemed donors. The bronze package includes water from the holy grave of Mawla Abul Fadl Abbas alayhi salam, the original turba or khaki shifa, and a piece of marble from the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The silver package includes all items in the bronze package, along with a piece of carpet from around the holy Darih of Abul Fadl Abbas salawatullah alayhi. The golden package comprises all items from the silver package, plus a holy flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, blessed on the holy dome and Darih of Imam. To reserve your preferred package and sponsor the broadcast of Imam Hussein TV, kindly contact our Karbala office via WhatsApp using the number displayed on your screen.
straight away. Are you ready for death?
It shaked me.
My theological inclination pushes me, and I know to trust my heart.
I say to myself, when we read ziyarat, say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum sadati. Are we just saying this because it's written, or do we mean it from our hearts?
Anything you spend, He will replace it. He is the best of providers.
Imam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. This is a live show. We do take in your questions. If you have any question you'd like to ask, please send it in via the WhatsApp number there below. You can scan the QR code there in the corner. That'll take you straight to the WhatsApp page. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section. Or if you want to call us in 0203 515 0199, or just call the WhatsApp number below and the technical team will send you to the studio. That is the best and quickest way to get your answers, inshallah. I'm your host, Mohsin Shia, and joining me is Sheikh Ali Ma. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing this evening, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
This has been, what, the 9th day of Ramadan?
On the 9th, eve of the 9th.
Eve of the 9th. So today was the 8th?
Yes.
It's getting hard, I'm not going to lie. But alhamdulillah, Sheikhna, how was your fast today?
Alhamdulillah, fine. So
I feel the fasting, the hunger is not really the issue. I think it's the fatigue. You feel very tired. Maybe you've had lack of sleep. Your brain is not active. It's not sharp. Well, mine isn't when I'm fasting. But do you feel that, Sheikhna?
I think you need to break it in the middle of the day, like a short nap, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
So you can be awake for the rest of the night, or most of the night at least, for the ibadah and sahar and so forth.
Fair. Sheikhna, every episode I ask you for some tips, advice that you could give our brothers and sisters. Before we ask the questions, we give them some advice or something they can take with them to help improve their experience during Ramadan. Today, Sheikhna, what do you have to tell them?
Inshallah. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. In one of the ad'i of Sahif al-Sajjadiyya by Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam, which is good to recite in this holy month for the parents, Birr al-Walidain. The Imam says in one of the parts of the dua, Allahumma ja'alni, so Allah, oh Allah, let me. And then he says, وَأَبَرُّهُمَا بِرَّ الْأُمَّ الرَّؤُوفِ, oh Allah, let me be devoted to them with the devotion of a compassionate mother. Subhanallah. To be like a mother towards your parents, especially if they're elderly in their 70s, 80s, to act like a mother, to provide all what is needed to show the love and passion towards them, and compassion as well. And this reminds us of what is said about Zahra alayhi salam, Fatimatu ummu abiha. She is the mother of her father.
Yeah.
So we have to, inshallah, be able to practice this with our parents, inshallah, with the barakah of this month.
Inshallah. Hassan. Thank you, Sheikhna. Just a quick reminder to the viewers that the phone lines are open. You can send in your questions via the WhatsApp number there below. Scan the QR code, that'll take you straight to the WhatsApp page. If you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, just put your questions in the comment section or give us a call in live into the studio, 0203 515 0199 if you're in the UK. And if you're outside the UK, you can just call on the WhatsApp number below and the technical team will put you through. Sheikhna, questions are coming in from YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it halal or haram going to a wedding that has music?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In overall, to attend the majalis of Ahlul Lahu, as they say, and Batil, it's forbidden in overall. If it's majlis that has mixed gathering, indecent clothing, improper clothing by the females, for example, mixed dancing, that would be, of course, a haram gathering. But in overall, to attend such majalis, one should offer advice to those who, especially the mu'mineen, because now today almost became as a norm that most of the mu'mineen, I don't care about the non-mu'min, non-religious, the mu'mineen and mu'minat today, most of them are now in the weddings of their sons and daughters, they play music, sadly. Now through the wife or the husband's influence in terms of the friends, for example, other people, so they play music. Now, as I've said before, you may not attend if you want to avoid that gathering, but there is an option which is a bit difficult because you can't stop it. You know, the music is so loud that you can hear it even inside your body as well. It goes inside, especially like a DJ
So you
and
can
so
hear it
forth.
from the car park.
Ahsant.
Yeah, it's very loud.
Sometimes, if the music is like the music in the supermarkets, for example, restaurants,
Just background
it's
noise.
background. You don't hear it properly because you're busy with eating, talking, shopping. But sometimes it's so high and the volume is so high, you can easily hear it. So, على كل حال, if you can avoid the listening, استماع and not سماع, or you can sit, let's say there's a prayer room, for example, or somewhere else you can go away from the music, that would be, of course, better. And as I've said, to do nahi an munkar would be a good idea as well.
From YouTube, is the duff drum halal or haram?
The duff is part of the musical instruments, which is forbidden to be used and played in the, let's say, majalis or aza and so forth. So duff is part of it, yeah.
From YouTube, I have a question on husband and wife relations in public. Is it permissible and what is not? For example, hugging or being close to one another, showing affection, etc. Is family an exception? Okay, is it an exception? Sheikhna, what are the rulings about being affectionate to one's spouse? Now we're talking about married couples here, so not a haram relationship. We're married. Holding hands in public, is that okay? Maybe you might have your arm around your wife. What about hugging in public? Especially at the airport when one has been on a trip and they come back. Normally they'll bring flowers or something and embrace one another and so forth. Is this okay to be done in public?
What is important that it wouldn't raise temptation and arouse the lust of the others. Some other acts that you might have noticed, sometimes they go over that hugging and so forth. So they have to minimize as much as they can. Yeah, that's better, just to protect the society.
Fair. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can I make a dua in my own language in sujood or any prayer if I don't know Arabic, like the other madhab doing? Shukran.
I haven't heard anyone saying for the ulama that you can recite the dua in sujood or ruku' with your own language. Usually it's Arabic, and it's easy in Subhan Rabbil Ala wa bihamdih. I mean, you can memorize a short dua, if you want haja.
The famous one is Ya Wali al-Afiyah, Afiyah dunya.
For example, Afiyah dunya wal akhirah. Yeah, I think you can practice it. It's not hard.
Arabic, Rabbana atina fi dunya.
Yeah.
So but that's from Quran, I believe. So
yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, having it in non-Arabic maybe. Something else. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. My question is regarding evil eye or jinn possession in human beings. Okay, let's go. Can jinns really possess human beings, or can evil eye really affect us?
I think we've asked this last episode of Ahkam.
Yes.
So I think you know the answer.
The answer is, we the Shia, we don't believe that jinns can possess you. We don't believe they go inside you or anything like that. There's no such thing as possession or exorcism or anything in the Shia school of faith. What is the remedy if one is affected by jinn or evil eye? You need to go see a psychiatrist. But if you feel like something has overcome you, Quran and Surah Al-Nas.
We have ad'iyah and of course to recite the four quls. قل هو الله أحد, قل يا الكافرون, قل أعوذ برب الفلق, قل أعوذ برب الناس. Protection for that one. Yeah.
And we have a phone call. I believe, inshallah, we'll be able to get through to our viewers. Assalamu alaikum. You're live on Ahkam SOS.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam, brother. How are you? How are you doing this evening?
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. You are live on Ahkam SOS. The Sheikh is here. Please, tafadhal, your question for the Sheikh.
السؤال the Mus'haf of Fatima. This is I know this is not Quran and nothing to do with the Quran. But السؤال, is it true that also Aisha زوج النبي Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi also had a Mus'haf that was bigger than the Quran, or this is false news? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Sheikh, any information you want? Anything?
That's fine.
Yeah? The Sheikh will answer your question now. Musnad of Fatima, and also if there is a Musnad of Aisha.
You see, we have to differentiate between the Holy Quran and other masahif, or let's say books. Now, there could be books of, I think we have Mus'haf Fatima, Kitabu Ali alayhi salam.
Yeah.
We have different books. These are books, now in terms of ahkam, in terms of other, let's say, past history by many individuals who speak and have debates with the other side that Mus'haf Fatima is something else. Kitabu Ali is something else. So, Sahif al-Sajjadiyah by Imam Sajjad, we just brought a short dua from this book that talks about ad'iyah, dua towards Allah Azza wa Jal.
And it's not...
exactly, it's not a Quran at all. It could have some verses within the dua, but it's not Quran.
I was told, Sheikh, that Musnad Fatima was after the death, the murder of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she would cry a lot. But the angel Jibreel would come and speak to her, and they would have a conversation about what's happened and what is going to happen in the future. Amir al-Mu'mineen would be in the room listening, and he would write down the conversation. I heard this is the Musnad.
Exactly. Mus'haf, yes.
Mus'haf, sorry.
So it's different than the Holy Quran. Quran is Kalamullah Azza wa Jal. Is the thiql, one of the thiql. Kitab Allah wa itrati ahli bayti. That's what always we try to bring them together, because they both are ma'asum. The book of Allah is ma'asum from khata and wrongdoings and wrong statements. And Ahl Bayt also are ma'asumin and infallible as well.
And he mentioned, the brother also mentioned the Mus'haf of Aisha, which was meant to be larger than the Quran. Do we have any text from, Aisha? In fact, do we have any text from the likes of, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Aisha, the Umayyads? Do we have any of their works, anything they've written, any contribution to Islamic literature?
The problem is after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa and when they took over the power, usurped the Khilafah, and afterwards Muawiyah came to power and usurped the Khilafah as well from Imam Hussein alayhi salam by force, and the Umayyah princedom, or let's say the monarchy, came into power. They fabricated lots of hadith. So that's why we have lots of hadith praising some of the Sahaba, some of the Munafiqeen, that they have such grades and such status before Allah Azza wa Jalla and His Holy Prophet. So, yes, you might find that thousands of hadith were fabricated to praise some Munafiqeen and individuals, sadly, and to downgrade the position of Ahlul Bayt, and especially Ali alayhi salam.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Sheikh, to be fair, I have not come across anything that was like, contribution to Islamic literature from the likes of Abu Bakr, Uthman, Umar. Nothing. I mean, with the Amir al-Mu'mineen, we have Najr al-Balagha. We have plenty of khutbahs, we have letters written and so forth. We have a collection. But from them, I've yet to come across one. And if someone knows, please let me know. Okay, more questions coming in. In regards to the evil eye, Sheikhna, can sheikhs treat people with jinn problems or evil eye? Like we know, there are some sheikhs or ma'alims in Africa or India who treat people with these problems.
The problem is initially it's a medical issue. You have to go back to the medics and psychiatrists and so forth. So you have to go to the hospital, make an appointment with the expert to solve the issue. Maybe you have depression or something like that.
Or schizophrenia.
And secondly, you have to go on top of that, go back to the ad'iyah. There are individuals who would write for you free of charge ad'iyah. Some of them would charge and they have... You have to be careful.
It's a business.
You have to be careful, yes. But I know people, they would do it for the cause of Allah Azza wa Jalla. They know the ad'iyah, specific ad'iyah you carry with yourself as a ta'weez, or you recite it every morning, for example, to repel all these evil beings.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it halal to have religious tattoos, the names of the Ahlul Bayt? Religious tattoos. The names of the Ahlul Bayt.
It's better not to have it, because when they're impure, then that's the issue.
Other thing is, where are you going to have it? You can't have it near your private parts, can you? And furthermore, if you're going to walk into the toilet and stuff and like that, it's not nice. It's not appropriate to have certain, these names on your body whilst you're going to be going and then doing these things. From YouTube, is Eid al-Ghadir and Eid al-Mubahala bid'ah? Sheikhna, do we actually have bid'ah in Shia Islam, in our Shia fiqh, Jafri fiqh? Is there such a thing called a bid'ah?
These are historic events and mentioned in the Holy Quran. Ayatul Mubahala is very famous. وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ. It's an event, a true event took place between the Holy Prophet when he brought his purest of the family, Fatima, Ali, Hassan and Hussein alayhim as-salatu was-salam. Mubahala with who? With the Christians of Najran, Nasara Najran. And of course, Ahlul Bayt and the Holy Prophet were the winners in this Mubahala. It's a true story. The Quran mentions it, the history, Hadith mentions it. So it's an event which took place, nothing to do with, with bid'ah and so forth. And then you have the Ghadir. Even Ahlul Sunnah narrate the event of the Ghadir, that the Prophet stood in his journey from Mecca to Medina, back from the Hajj, in a place, an oasis called Ghadir Khum. And he appointed Ali alayhi salam, man kuntum mawlah fa'ali mawlah. Where is the bid'ah from this? Realistic consensus, ijma'u, mutawatir on this hadith that it took place, this event of Ghadir. Nobody can deny it. The Ghadir did not take place. Unless if he's Nasibi, a'udhu billah, or Ibn Haram, would say no, there's no Ghadir at all. Nasibi Ibn Haram, we don't have anything with him. يا علي لا يبغضك إلا ولد كذا على كل حال. So we don't care about these individuals, but the event of Ghadir was recorded, established. The Shia and the Sunni sources narrate this event. But you need the heart. إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. You need a qalb salim. Without a qalb salim, a pure heart, you cannot accept the wilayah of Ali alayhi salam. As I've said, the Ibn Haram cannot accept the wilayah of Ali alayhi salam. The munafiq cannot accept the wilayah of Ali alayhi salam.
Ahsant. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Does a sin break your wudu?
The sin is a sin, is a ma'asiyah, but wouldn't it break the wudu, because wudu has its own conditions and terms.
Yes.
So if you
urinate, break
for example, one of these,
stools,
then of course that breaks. But a sin, of course, it's a sin, ma'asiyah. You have to ask Allah repentance.
From YouTube, if someone says they are Muslim but they are not very religious, are they tahir or najis?
Whoever announces the shahadatain, then he is a Muslim, and tahir and so forth, or the ahkam, even if he's not practicing religion, in other words, he doesn't pray, for example. But as long as he has this belief in Allah Azza wa Jal and in the Holy Prophet, in general, he's a Muslim. He's a tahir ala kull hal.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum. I'm a revert from Sweden. No one in my family is Muslim, and I have two questions. Okay, there's some background information here. I'll go through that quickly. My mother doesn't know my biological father, but met a man when I was 2, and I have since then called him father. When I was 12, he adopted me on legal reasons. For me, this is my father, and I have come to terms with that. Allah will give him my haqq when I die. Knowledge of my biological... Okay, they got married and have... I was 5, but now divorced after 22 years. My question is, am I allowed to inherit from him? If not, can I give the money to my children instead, or is there other options?
The Holy Prophet ﷺ, he abolished the, how can I say, attaching yourself to your adopted. So there's no adoption in Islam in terms of attaching them to this individual, becoming as your father, as your, let's say, stepfather. He is no longer your genuine father. So, so there's ahkam shar'iyya. For example, if he has a wife, she's not your mother. She brought you up, raised you, but she has to wear hijab when you are baligh, for example. So the ahkam wouldn't basically apply to this individual.
This person, they're asking as well that, look, this person, okay, so I think it's a sister, and she's saying that, look, this person raised me from the age of 5 to the age of 27. I've known this person to be my father. And now he's divorced my mother. Do I have to wear hijab in front of him? Is he now my mahram?
Did he marry his genuine mother?
Yes.
Real mother?
Biological, yeah.
And he is a male or female, this individual?
The individual is a female.
Okay. As long as you have, I mean, he's your stepfather.
Stepfather, yeah.
Then she is halal on the stepfather. As long as he married her mother.
And then they divorced now.
Divorced.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were married for 22 years. The sister now is 27 years old. They've divorced now, but she still calls him father. She says, this is my only father. I grew up with him. He raised me and everything. Does she still need to wear hijab in front of him?
I'll have to check that.
Okay, we'll get back to you on that one. We have a phone call from one of the viewers, inshallah. We will be able to get through to them. Assalamu alaikum, you're live on Ahkam SOS.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you? You okay?
Alhamdulillah. I would like to ask, is there evidence in the Quran that there are imams?
Fantastic question. Sheikh, do you want any more information? You okay with that?
Are you followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, or you're a Sunni?
Are you yourself, are you Shia, or are you from another madhab?
No, I'm Shia. I would just like to know if there's if there's evidence in the Quran, because I would like to tell my Sunni friends.
Okay.
About Ahlul Bayt.
Yes, inshallah.
Sheikh's going to answer your question now. Thank you very much for calling in. Tafadhal, Sheikh.
You see, the Holy Prophet left with us two weighty things, the Book of Allah and his family. In other words, to understand the Book of Allah. Because if Allah wanted to reveal a book with details, that could have been dozens of volumes of Quran, you know, talking about every single event, who is the Khalifa, who is the leader. But you could see that in the Holy Quran we have a glimpse of some of the verses that talks about the Imam in general. You have to be intelligent and smart to go back to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the hadith of Ahlul Bayt, and to see who is the real Khalifa. When the Holy Prophet says that after me there are 12 caliphs, all of them from Quraysh, كلهم من Quraysh, and you go back to the Holy Quran, Allah says what in the Quran? To Ibrahim, إني جاعلك للناس إماما. I appoint the Imam, O Ibrahim, not people, not the Sahaba, not the companions of any prophet. It's only Allah who chooses the Khalifa. إني جاعل في الأرض Khalifa. Allah is the one who establishes Khilafah. So these are the glimpses or the flashpoints in which you can derive your knowledge from and as evidence, and go back to the Sunnah of the Prophet, the Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his Ahlul Bayt, and from there you can match the Quran with the Sunnah, with the Hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, with their statements. You can easily reach the conclusion that the haqq is only with Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Nobody else has the right to claim to be the Khalifa. Otherwise, as a response to the friend of this respected child, that where in Quran that Allah Azza wa Jal points to or appoints the Sahaba and the Prophet's companions to be Khulafa after him. Where is it? Allah says, I appoint the Khalifa. Inni ja'alun fil ard. Not the Sahaba. He chooses the Khalifa.
Ahsant. Sheikh, now we're going to go to a short break. Join us after the break as we continue our discussion here on Ahkam SOS. Now is the best time to send in your questions. If you want to send in a question, send it via the WhatsApp. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, put it on your comment section. Or give us a call, 0203 515 0199. Join us after the break as we continue here on Ahkam SOS.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of scholars.
Is it permissible to plant trees by or
was
over
Islam
the
established based on peace and
Is it
non-violence?
permissible to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim countries?
Is there an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 092155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Imam Hussein TV3 wants to improve their content to ensure that we meet our goal, which is to encourage, inform and educate the Shia around the world about the teachings from the holy household, the Ahlul Bayt. For us to do this, we need your help. Complete our survey and tell us which programs you like, what you'd like to see more of, and what we could do better. The survey takes less than a minute, but you could be within a chance to win a ring made from the marble from the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein TV3, your gateway to Karbala.
You are live here on Imam Hussein TV3 watching Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. Now we do take in your questions. If you have any question you'd like to send in, please send it in now via the WhatsApp number. QR code is right there in the corner. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section or give us a call in the studio, 0203 515 0199. And if you're outside of the UK, you can call on the WhatsApp number. And that is the quickest and easiest way to get all of your questions answered. Inshallah, we're going to continue our discussion with Sheikh Ali Ma'ash. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam.
Sheikh, I've got loads of questions here, so let's start answering them one by one. Here you go. This is your favorite question, Sheikh. Where is Allah? That's from WhatsApp.
As I've mentioned before, a couple of nights ago, that we have a hadith from Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, which says, "Inna Allah la yu'ayyanu bi'ayn." You cannot say that where Allah is. The question is wrong, logically, aqlan. Why? Because you are bringing the position of a creator to the creation. If you say Allah is there or up there, then he's part of the creation. It's like saying the Prophet is over there in the fourth sky, like Isa alayhi salam, for example. You're giving the position and the boundary to the creator of this world and the universe and everything. So the question is wrong.
Fair. From WhatsApp, can we attend a party where there is alcohol?
One should not attend the majalis of Ahlul Fusuq, the majalis of the falsehood individuals and the corruptive individuals. You have to stay away. Otherwise, if the bala comes on, as we saw in some of the gatherings where there was a wedding with dance, music, I don't know, alcohol, and suddenly the fire broke in that wedding and many died as a result. Na'udhu billah.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. My question is, having cough syrup at time of azan soap, there is some flavor in my throat. Does this affect my fast?
No, as long as you had it before the
I guess it's the same with brushing your
Fajr,
teeth,
yeah.
The flavors
wouldn't affect, as long as the substance is gone.
From YouTube, can we prostrate on natural things? I think anything you cannot wear and cannot eat, you can prostrate on. No, Sheikhna?
Ahsant, like the wooden trees and
leaves,
yeah. Grass.
Stones, grass, soil, earth, I'm trying to think, stone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not carpet. Mamnu'. Furthermore, Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum. If someone kisses you while you're fasting, a male accidentally, does that break your fast?
That's not part of the fast, mubtil and so forth.
Fair.
Because even if it's done na'udhu billah, in a haram way, or with lust, of course the ma'asiyah is there by the one who committed this ma'asiyah. But we didn't break the fast.
From WhatsApp, this is going to be a long one, Sheikh. Dajjal, is Dajjal a person or an organization? Does Dajjal already exist in the world?
Something mentioned in the narrations, but we don't exactly if it's a person or if it's a
organization or
a phenomenon or something.
An ideology.
Exactly.
We're not sure. Will Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj, work with Dajjal to spread chaos in the world, or will they work on their own? And how will Gog and Magog get their freedom?
Well, something is mentioned, but I don't have the details with this regard.
Also, who is Zulqarnain? Was he a prophet or just a human being who was blessed by Allah to have special blessings and abilities?
Many statements mentioned about him, that who is he, ala kulli hal. But seems to be he's a man who tried to help those individuals who had been seeing difficulty and invasion from those evil persons.
Was Zulqarnain Alexander the Great, or was he the Persian king who Zoroastrians worship? Okay, he's not Alexander the Great, otherwise he would be known as Iskandar and not Zulqarnain. And furthermore, Alexander the Great was Roman. Sheikhna, Persian king who the Zoroastrians worship?
If they both were, let's say, oppressors, tyrants, you cannot attach oppressive attributes to somebody who is God conscious, mu'min.
So forth. Okay. Good question from WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum. Are lymph nodes within meat haram, and should they be removed before cooking, consuming meat such as lamb and beef? Is there any evidence from Ahlul Bayt regarding hijama? Okay. First of all, lymph nodes in halal meat, Sheikhna, can we eat them?
Which part of the body is it?
Lymph node, it's not part of the body. It's like, it's in between the meat and so forth. It's a biological term. It's like, you have the nervous system, then you have the lymph node system. I think it's to do with removing illnesses and stuff like that. Never mind, we'll get back to you on that one. Evidence of hijama from the Ahlul Bayt.
I mean, initially it's the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
done once a month? On 15th, I think.
I'm not sure exactly. There are specific days and nights which is recommended to do so.
But he would do it.
Yeah, and of course Ahlul Bayt would follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Question on wearing rings as a Shia. Which aqiq stone ring is recommended to wear on what finger, and what are the benefits of the stones that you wear? Okay, Sheikhna, we know from Imam Sadiq's hadith on the signs of the mu'min. One of the signs was wearing aqiq on your right hand. I don't have mine. It got nicked. But what should we call it? Also, wearing the aqiq, what benefits are there? And secondly, is there a specific aqiq we have to wear, or does it matter? All aqiqs are the same, regardless of where they're from.
What is mentioned is about the aqiq al-yamani, the famous one, which is even ulama would wear as well. But one of the most important benefits, as the Imam mentions, alayhi salam, one of the 5 signs of the mu'min, alamat al-mu'min, khams, واتخذتم باليمين, to wear the ring on your right hand side. That's one of the signs of the mu'min. And this is very important benefit, that you are known to be as a mu'min.
Yes. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna, are there any great Shia warriors after the time of the Imams?
Well, historically, I can't remember somebody who was a warrior in terms of in the battlefields, basically. I can't remember, to be honest, because usually after the Ghaib al-Sughra and Kubra, the Shia moved towards teaching and learning. So you had Sheikh al-Mufid, Sheikh al-Tusi, Alam al-Huda, Sharif all the way ulama nurtured and raised and taught to spread the ulum of Al Muhammad alayhi salam, to educate people towards the ulum of Ahlul Bayt.
The sword was replaced by the pen.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they went to battle on paper. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, can I take a loan from the bank in a non-Muslim country?
Taking loan by itself is fine, but to pay that back with the interest, if somebody is compelled, they can do so, like student loan, to pay the fees for accommodation, food, drink, transport. So if you're compelled, you can do so.
From YouTube, hello, do Sunnis recite Dua Faraj? I'm not sure. Inshallah, they do recite Dua Faraj and Ziyarah Imam Hussein, and also send la'an on the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt.
If they believe in it.
From YouTube, rinsing your mouth for wudu during fast. What's the ruling on how much of it is possible to spit out without breaking the fast? Sheikhna, some people do this. When they're doing wudu, the water goes back to the throat and they gargle and so forth. So, and then they spit the water out. So, is that okay?
You can't gargle, you just have to rinse it. Just around the mouth, yeah.
Oh, that's mustahab as well. So, if you want in Ramadan, don't do it. You've got no, there's no chance of it going down. Just a quick reminder to the viewers that we are taking your questions. If you have any questions, please send them in via the WhatsApp number there below, or you can scan the QR code in the corner there. Have I got it? There, QR code right there. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can send in your questions via the comment section, or give us a call 0203 515 0199. We'd love to hear from you, what you're doing during this Ramadan, what do you have for iftar, and most importantly, your question. So if you're in the UK, 0203 515 0199. If you're abroad, then you can use the WhatsApp number below and you can call in that way. From YouTube, Salaam alaikum, Sheikhna. It's celebrating Eid a Nowruz bid'ah. It is Iranian New Year. Sheikhna, Nowruz is very soon, isn't it? It's this week?
Yes,
week?
yes.
Some people will celebrate because they are Iranian and it's part of their culture, it's, working in the spring. Some others, think it's religious. But are Muslims allowed to celebrate Eid al-Nowruz?
I mentioned this mas'ala a few nights ago, that some of the ulama would mention it as a part of the Islamic Eid. So it became part of the Islamic Eid after Islam. But some would have an argument about it, that how could this be an Islamic Eid? You can't have it as Eid. So overall, there is something mentioned in Mafatih al-Jinan and other books for Ad'iyah. There are amal of this day, other than ghusl, salah, something. To that extent, ibadah in other words. You thank Allah Azza wa Jal for the start of the spring, the first day of spring.
Because obviously the harvest is coming and we can start to grow and bring barakah. Sheikh, now we have a phone call on the line. Inshallah, we'll be able to get through to our viewer. Assalamu alaikum. Are you there?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Ahlan, ahlan. Please, your question for the Sheikh.
السؤال الحين I'm living in Kuwait and now it's 12:15 a.m. I just finished praying Salat al-Layl, and I actually have two questions, but I'm going to summarize it quickly. The first question is, when I was praying Salat al-Layl in Salat al-Shaf, I did it with qunut. Is it accepted or not? And the second question is that in Salat al-Witr, I didn't mention the 40 believers and the rest of the a'mal. Is it still accepted, or I have to do it again?
Inshallah.
Any information?
Ahsant.
Thank you very much. The Sheikh will answer your question. Thank you for your phone call.
Yes, in terms of the mustahabbat, it's a bit flexible in terms of how much you can do and you can't do. So you can leave many of the mustahabbat, as I've said before, a few nights ago, for the Salat al-Layl, for example. You can shorten it. You can pray in 10 minutes. Each rak'ah 1 minute. In terms of the qunut, there's no qunut in Salat al-Shaf', the 2 rak'ah before the end, before witr. There's no qunut. But some ulama would say that as an intention of raja' al-matlubiyya, not as a wurud, not as a part of the salah. This is part of the salah. So you pray this, it's okay, no worries. But next time, you don't have to say it and mention it.
He mentioned also he did the final witr raqah, and he didn't mention the 40 names.
As I've said, it's flexible in terms of mustahab. You can ignore, waive it and continue with the saying al-afwa and astaghfirullah and so forth. Yeah.
Or could you do it again? Could you do one extra witr raqah and put the names in?
على كل حال, I mean, he prayed بعد خلاص. We don't want them to let him do other a'mal.
Sheikh, I think we have another phone call on the line. Inshallah, we will be able to get through to our viewers. Assalamu alaikum. You're live on Ahkam SOS.
Wa alaikum salam.
Salam. How are you? You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Please, your question for the Sheikh.
I heard in heaven that I saw a recent video of a Sheikh saying that there will be a doorbell made out of gemstones and gold plates, which once pressed the Ali. I want to know if that's true.
Pardon, could you say that last bit again?
It's made out of gemstones and gold plates, which once
Gemstones
pressed
and
says Ya Ali.
And says Ya Ali on it. And you want to know if it's true or
Yeah.
not?
Yes.
Sheikh, any
I
information?
want to see.
Sheikh,
And the doorbell, once you press the doorbell, it says Ya Ali.
oh, when you press the doorbell, it says Ya Ali. What a doorbell. I'd
Yeah.
like to have one like that. Okay, Sheikh, we'll answer your question now. Thank you for your phone call.
Thank you.
Sheikh, a door in heaven made out of gemstones and gold, and the doorbell, when you press it, it says Ya Ali.
I mean, we have something mentioned, I remember a long time ago, something read about it. But in overall, why should we raise doubt about these issues? When Ali ibn Abi Talib is Qasim al-Jannati wal-Nar, according to the literatures, Islamic literatures, that he is the one who divides. Allah gives him the delegation like he gives to the Malak al-Maut, the ability to take the souls from the bodies of the people in the world, Malak al-Maut. He gives also to Ali alayhi salam to be Qasim al-Jannati wal-Nar. He would divide the people. He would say to the mu'min, go to paradise, to the munafiq, go to the hellfire. He would divide people. He would stand in that mahshar. Allah gives him this power and ability as he gives it to the malaika. غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم. So why not?
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If I do not pray my compulsory prayers, am I out of the fold of Islam? According to the Shia fiqh. Someone who doesn't pray their salah, are they out of Islam?
We have a hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. He gathered his family, relatives, sons, daughters, before his death, and he said, لا ينال شفاعتنا مستخفا بصلاته. The one who takes salah lightly will not gain our shafa'ah. In other words, the one would see difficulties in the hereafter, in the grave. There's adab. Yes, you'll die as a mu'min, as a believer. What is most important, definitely, is the aqeedah, is the belief, is to be in Allah Azza wa Jal oneness, the prophethood of the prophets, the Adlullah Azza wa Jal, the Imams of Ahl Bayt, Ma'ad, Yawm al-Qiyamah, and so forth. That's the core and the most important to believe. But to be safe in your grave and peace, as they say, rest in peace, RIP in the grave, and the hereafter, make sure that you obey Allah Azza wa Jal. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. As much as you can, obey Allah Azza wa Jal in the wajib and in avoiding the haram as well. So that your Imam would be pleased on you. So that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say, he is my follower.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Was the salawat at the end of salah during the time of the Prophet, or was it later added? I can't imagine he was praising himself and teaching that to others.
Well, we have a hadith which says, صلوا كما رأيتموني أصلي. Pray the way I prayed. I don't think the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would teach the Muslims
to pray differently.
To pray short or incomplete salah, in other words. I don't believe in that.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I live in a city with no Shias. I follow an app for prayer times, but I have doubt that it is correct, as Fajr is 30 minutes earlier than the city only 1 hour away. Can I follow the city closest to me?
In overall, when you have doubts about this, the Fajr time, the Maghrib time, always take precautious measures, ihtiyat. So, for example, I remember when I went to one of the Scandinavian countries, and when I went there, the Fajr was almost 4 o'clock. I mean, sorry, the sunrise was 4 o'clock, and the Salatul Fajr was the 1:15 in the time prayer timetable. And I said, how could it be? Almost 3 hours before the sunrise is Adhan al-Fajr? It can't be. And that's why some ulama, like Ayatollah Shirazi, he issued a fatwa that you cannot have Fajr Adhan, between Fajr Adhan and sunrise more than 2 hours. It can't be.
It's not possible.
It's 2 hours and less. Yes. So always take cautious measures and ihtiyat and leave a few minutes and then pray or open your fast.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If I swallow the skin of my lips, does it break my fast? A lot of people bite their lips, Sheikhna. You know, if lips get dry, you peel it and stuff like that. You might do it with
As
your
I
teeth.
mentioned that before, that any substance you swallow, be it soil, be it bread, be it rice, be it I don't know, petrol, drops of petrol, with swallow, that would break a fast. So yes.
Okay, Sheikh, we have a phone caller. Inshallah, we will be able to get through to them. Assalamu alaikum. You're live on Ahkam SOS.
Welcome, warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Your question, please, for the Sheikh.
So the question today is, you know the fitrana, are we able to pay this to the members, the poor members of the household, like in Pakistan, for example? So they could give it to poor people, for example, neighbors in Pakistan. So the fitrana could go to poor people 10 days prior to Eid, though. So would that be permissible to give fitrana 10 days prior to Eid? And also, my mother's not been able to fast because of medical reasons.
Okay.
Diabetes. What would the fidya be for this?
Okay. Sheikh, any more information you require? That's fine. Brother, we pray for your mother, inshallah, and she gets shafa'ah from Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, and she has a quick, speedy recovery. But yes, Sheikh will answer your questions now. Thank you for calling in, brother.
Thank you.
Sheikh, fitrana, can we give to poor people abroad? He was mentioning poor people in Pakistan. And can we do this 10 days prior to Eid? And also he was mentioning his mother is diabetic. She can't really fast. What is the fidya that she has to pay?
Yeah, initially for the zakat al-fitra, inshallah we'll come to it before the Eid, inshallah, in a couple of days' time. Some scholars would say that you can pay it prior to the Eid, but when they receive it, they have to consider it as loan. So you give it as a loan to them, they keep it, and on the Eid day or evening, you would consider it as zakat al-fitra. So you, the payer, would change the niyyah from being as a loan to being as a zakat al-fitra. So on the day of Eid, before you go to Salatul Eid, you would make it the intention, renew the intention that this is now no longer as a loan, it's a zakat al-fitra that I have to pay. Inshallah.
Fantastic. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna, is Kitab Sulaim authentic?
According to many of the ulama, yes, it is authentic. Yeah.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna, my family wronged me when I was a child. They were really cruel. I want to forgive them, but I can't. Will I get a chance to forgive them on the Day of Judgment?
I mean, وبالوالدين إحسانا, to be good with your parents. Even if they pass away, try to send for them thawab and make niyaz on their behalf. So try to do this birr and khair before they pass away, of course, to help them, support them. And after their demise, of course, you send their thawab in their name, sadaqah, jariyah, and so forth.
Sheikh, I think we've got time for one more question, and I will do this one. I live with my uncle and auntie since birth, and now they've got children. They are now mahram to me. How do I manage my day-to-day life when I see them every day?
So who are they, sorry?
They are my uncle's children, so they're like first cousins, I guess. I think it's his sister that's talking.
If they are non-mahram to you, of course you have to observe the hijab and avoid skin touching, for example,
Yes.
shaking hand and so forth. It's like a lady who walks outside in the street. You have to make sure that you observe the hijab. If that individual is non-mahram to you, of course.
Fair. Thank you very much, Sheikh. I think that's all we have time for. And thank you for all of you guys for joining us on this episode of Ahkam SOS. If we didn't answer your question, we do apologize. We had a lot of questions coming in. However, myself and the Sheikh will be back tomorrow at 8:30 here, live on Imam Hussein TV3. So inshallah, you guys can join us in then and send in your questions. Until then, please remember us in your du'as and enjoy your suhoor, inshallah. We'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Ali.
Ali, mashallah. How old are you?
7.
7
Wow,
years.
7 year old Ali, mashallah.
ماما بابا موجودين؟
لا بس أمه.
بس ماما موجودة؟ بابا وين؟
بابا ميت.
بابا ميت رحمة الله عليه. ايش قد مشتاق لبابا علي؟
هواي.
ايش قد هواية؟
يعني تقريبا قد السنة.
I ask Ali, do you miss Dad? He says yes. And I said, how much do you miss Dad? And he's only 7 years old, but he's seen the difficulties of life that his answer is of an adult. And he says, I miss Dad in the space of the sky. في المستقبل شنو تريد تصير؟
أصير كابتن طيارة.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله. شو تصير حق كابتن علي؟
إيه.
Captain Ali. He hopes that he'll grow up to be a captain. But brothers and sisters, this is your donations that Ali's dream of being a captain will come true. This is why we urge you to donate now and make Ali's dream come true.
Sponsor an orphan and weave dreams into reality. Give the gift of tomorrow. Sponsor an orphan and watch their world change through their eyes.
ماما أنا جوعانة.